it is all about dreamings and how you make them become realities. I remember one of my favorite Christmas presents. I was 10 years old, and I could see this big, round gift box under the Christmas tree. And I was like very curious and fascinated about it. And when I opened it, I was just amazed about this globe. It was actually a globe like you can see, where you can see all the time limits and everything. So I was looking at it hours and hours and dreaming about how to travel around this globe. And a few years later, when I finished my studies, I was at the same time working, and to earn some money in the way to travel. And the fact was, many of those people who were traveling at this moment were traveling to Asia. And I didn't know if I wanted to go to Asia or to another part. And I say, well, if I go to Asia, it may be more difficult because I won't have something really concrete when I come back. So I decided to go mostly to South America. And where I was working, I met this incredible girl at this moment, and born in Argentina, and she came at the age of 12 in Switzerland with her mother. And she had this way of talking about his country, like everything was coming from the earth, you know, and very, very amazing in terms of intensity. And she convinced me to go to South America, and I began, obviously, to visit Argentina. Then my trip was about 8 months through the South American continent, backpacking. And when I come back, I get so many inputs, so many things to communicate about this continent that I say I have to share this passion. I have to share this. And that's why at this moment I create the first travel agency, specialized on South America. And this makes me travel a lot. I was traveling for my clients. My clients were, you know, looking for something different, something else, something very special. So I have to find something out of the tracks, you know, something very specific. And all my travels, which I count, it's around 150 trips to South America, just inspection trip, to see really to identify the most amazing places for my clients. And one day, one client called me and he said to me, "What about the Amazon? We really don't know anything about the Amazon. It looks great, but do you think we can do something there?" And I was thinking about how to get there, and you know, it was complicated. I mean, I said to him, it's huge. It's quite like big as the United States. It's surrounded by 9 countries. So there is no road, there is no airport, there is. It's difficult to get there by boat. You know, it's a long trip because the Amazon River is about 6,000 kilometers long, so it's complicated. And so I was thinking, and I said, "Wait, we maybe do something by hydroplane. Could be fun to do something by hydroplane." And I was looking and developing this project and trying to get a budget about this trip. And when I received the budget, I said, "Wow, this is a bit expensive to do an inspection trip." It was about more than 50,000 Swiss francs. And it was impossible for me to do an inspection trip with this amount of money. So a few weeks later, I was invited by dinner to my clients, to one of my clients, who wanted to do another trip. We wanted to speak about their next trip to South America. They were frequent travelers, so they have been to South America before, and they wanted to do something very special, something different. And so I said, maybe I have something for you. And I spoke about this trip, and they said, but what is it exactly? And I say, well, the idea is to fly over the Amazon from Manaus to the Cordillera of the Andes, and then cross the Andes by four-wheel drive until the Pacific. And they said, wow, we want to do this. It looks amazing. And I say, okay, we can do it, but it has a cost, you know. Well, we don't care. Let's do it. And a few months later, we were flying over the Amazon, looking for the nicest trip to stay and to see. And at this moment, I see this amazing place, what is called a very amazing place for me, because after 150 trips in South America, you can imagine I have seen a lot of amazing places. But this one was very specific. You know, it was something really special. It was amazing in terms of situation, in terms of localization, but also in terms of natural landscape. But there was something stronger than that, and I could feel something very special, something so strong, a lot of energy in this place. And I said, this is the place. This is really the place where we can do something, and this is really the place where we can connect with the origins. So I come back later, and I really feel this feeling you can have, this balance between human being and nature. When you are walking inside the forest, you can really feel this nature, which is really strong. You can really feel the 60 meters high trees pumping water from their roots to the extremities of their leaves. I mean, you have this energy which is constantly present in this part, and this makes me really decide to do something from scratch there. I mean, 100% sustainable project to develop there. So I decided to go further with this project, but I needed some people to help me in this way. So I was looking about some friends locally, some biologists, and everybody was very positive about it. So I said, we really have to do it. We really have to show where we can reconnect with the nature. We have actually lost this connection with nature. I remember on the other day I was at a friend's place in Geneva, and we had an energy cut. And it was 10 at night. We didn't know exactly from where it was, where was coming the energy cut. We tried to find a solution, but we didn't have any solution. Then we said, well, maybe we can phone to an emergency call and see there is a 24-hour service if they can arrange something. But it was on the 15th of July, so everybody was in holiday. So impossible to get a solution, and we are in the dark. And suddenly I can see my friend getting into a panic. But what are we going to do? What I'm going to do with all the food I have in my freezer? We have no Wi-Fi. We have no microwave. Nothing works. I really have to find something. I really have to find a hotel room to pass the night. I cannot stay here anymore. And I was saying, wow, what's going on? I couldn't believe this attachment to the technology and to the energy we can have here. Well, you know, I am living for about 2.5 years in Colombia, in the Amazon, and we have about 4 to 5 energy cuts per week. So for me, it was nothing special. But I was really surprised to see how the people are attached to this technology and to this energy. So I think we really have to rediscover connection with nature, to refine this balance between human being and nature. You know, in the Amazon, the cosmovision of the Amazon people, in the cosmovision, they have all the animals, all the human beings, all the plants, they are on an equal, they are on an harmonious way, they have all equal. And this is a nice way of life, you know, and this is around this concept that I would to develop my project. And I have the chance to work on it with the EHL through a student business project. And I must say that it is great because I can feel the same thing at the EHL that I feel in the Amazon. I know that there is a lot of students here in the room, and I must say that you are all amazing. I mean, you are coming from all the origins, from many different cultures, and this is great, you know. It makes you having a lot of energy and a lot of positive thinking. And I really need this for my project. And I can combine this with all the energy I can find on the Amazon. And that's why I think today, traveling and discovering the world is not a possibility, but a to-do plan. If you want to grow, if you want to think outside the borders, if you want to be inspired, you have to travel. And I think it's very important to do it. Thank you very much.